What's up, Ron here. Thank you for joining me in another video. And in this one, I'm going to talk about the Plein-Air challenge that I'm going to put myself through. Now, a couple of words. I'm back from New York. Thank you so much for sticking around, for checking out the videos I posted in advance while I was gone. I really appreciate it. And now we're back on track and I hope to share with you more great content. Second note, there are some construction works outside. You'll have to forgive me for that. So why am I holding this painting? And let me give you some background. As you know, I'm a huge proponent of Plein-Air. I think it's one of the best ways to improve consistently and over the long haul because it does two things. First, it takes you one step backward. So instead of painting based on a flat two-dimensional image that edited out the reference for you, it flattened out the values, it changed the colors, it turned it into a two-dimensional object, it saved you that step. It also gave you a prepared crop, so you know exactly what the scene is cropped like. It's just easier. So what it does is it puts all of these challenges back to you, back onto you. You have to deal with all of these elements. Second, it cuts out the middleman, being a picture was produced for you. So you're directly in front of the reference. That's a good thing because you see things more clearly. You see the nuances of color more clearly. You see the values more clearly. So it has its challenges, but it also has its benefits. And it just gives you more independence. So I just want to show you, this is the first watercolor Plein-Air I did this month. I started the challenge basically yesterday. It was Sunday as the time of recording this. You're going to see it a couple of days later. So this is the first painting I produced, and I'm going to show you in just a couple of seconds sketches I did yesterday. But I thought it would be cool to show you this one up close and also remove the tape and let you see what it looks like. So let's remove the tape together because I know that's something people always look forward to. But basically, this is a park here in Tel Aviv. It's a scene that I really loved, and the first time I looked at it, I love how the light shines on these trees. I actually painted this several times from multiple different angles. So let me remove the tape slowly and show you the final result. The tape I'm using, and I get asked about this a lot, is just a normal tape, but it's the yellow kind that you can actually rip out very easily with your hands. Let me show you, actually, because a lot of people ask about this. If you can do this, then that's good. That's a good sign. So let's continue and remove the tape real quick. I just want you to see the result without the tape, and then I'll show you a couple of Plein-Airs I did in New York. Okay, so here we go. Let's get rid of this, and here is the final result with a clean border. Sorry, there's police noise. Let's wait. Okay, it's better now. So as you can see here, without the border, without the tape, now there's a clean border, and you can tell what you're looking at a little better. Let me show it to you up close. I did this, and this is why I love Plein-Air. I did this with a very a la prima flare. I actually did it in one go, almost no glazing. So first wash was the lightest light, so all of these, the ground, all of those details. Second wash, I did the mid values, and then I added the darks. That's how I did this one. No, I didn't cover the whole thing up. I went very direct. And this is why I love Plein-Air. It's another reason, because it encourages you to do these kinds of experiments, okay? Now let me show you yesterday's sketches and maybe a couple of more that I did here. I just went on the bus. I had a dentist appointment, so I didn't have time to paint in the morning, but I took my sketchbook with me and did some sketches. So here you go, just a couple of cars here, and hopefully you can see them properly. And then I also practiced creating some compositions with some trees I saw and some buildings. And I also sketched out this dude in the bus, but he moved, so I had to stop. And I also have a couple of old sketches I did in New York. Here's another, wait, let me show you. Here's a bunch of other quick studies. Here's Ruth in a very awkward pose. That was funny. So you can see all of these sketches can really help you grow, especially if you do them on location Plein-Air. So let me show you two Plein-Air paintings I did in New York. And these I love. So the first one, let's start with the first one. This was on, I believe this is Grand Street, and Crosby is just a couple of junctions behind. This is the police department building. Enjoyed this one a lot, and quite a few people stopped by and talked to me. Just a good, the scene immediately captivated me, and what I noticed, and this is something that only happens in Plein-Air, is the shapes of this, the buildings and the sky. I loved this gap here. I absolutely loved it. I love the details on this building, and this is why this part of the painting is, I think, more developed than the bottom, because this is what attracted me to the scene. These are things sometimes you only notice Plein-Air, you only notice them outside. When working from a photo, it's so different, and a part of your perception is just gone, which is why I highly recommend you do this. You can join me in this challenge this month, next month, PleinAir challenge. Every morning start with a PleinAir session during the weekdays, so Sunday to Thursday here in Israel. For you, it may be Monday to Friday. But in any case, this is the first one. Let me show it to you up close, some details. So I hope you like it, and also without the tape, as you always like to see. And finally, we have this one I did in Union Square, and you can see this by this station, Union Square, in the Union Square Park. I just love this building. Someone commented on Instagram that that I painted their building in the background, which is funny. If you live here, it's really funny and cool to see. Had a bit of a trouble with this one. As you can see, it's a little more worked than the previous one, because I wasn't sure what to do here with all the people, how to simplify it. But I'm very proud of myself for adding these pigeons in and for the overall composition. I think the execution could have been done a little better, but the composition itself, I think, zoomed out, overall works really well. So that's one thing you'll see improves really fast when you do PleinAir, is the compositional sense. Now finally, let me show you a PleinAir I did in New York, also in the Four Freedoms Park on Roosevelt Island. So just a quick one, and I had a good time with this. It just forces you to do the editing instead of the photo that you use to paint. Now, I will say this, if you can't go outside, if it's hard for you to paint outside, if you have maybe even a disability that doesn't allow that, painting inside is also great. If you were there, when you took the picture, then you will do a much better job at it. So for example, let's say I visited this park and I can't afford, or I can't physically be there for long and actually paint outside. What you can do is snap a photo, and because you were there, when you paint from that photo, your mind will remember the scene as it was originally. So that's one step removed from the scene, but still much better than painting based on a photo someone else took. Okay, so that's something I want you to have in mind. That's just another step. Now, I want to invite you, if you want to join in on this challenge, or maybe try. I'm not big on doing challenges and competitions and all of that. I don't have time for that, and to manage these things and choose winners. I know a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people on Instagram do this. Sorry, I don't have much time to do that. What I do want to do is encourage you to try it out as well. So if you do, feel free to also send me your results via email. You can have all the details somewhere down there or in my channel. I would love to see the progress you make. Trust me on this one, it's huge. PleinAir is really one of the best ways to improve. If you feel stuck, if you feel unmotivated, demotivated, if you feel like you don't have inspiration, that's a really good way to activate that part in you, especially if you've been feeling for a while that it doesn't work. Ruth scratches the couch, so this is why you hear the noise. Sorry about that. One last note I wanted to mention, but I forgot now. Oh yeah, sure. One more thing. If you didn't check out my frustration-free watercolor course, be sure to check it out in the description box below. It will help you to go one more step towards letting go and painting loosely. Even if you like your results, but you still feel like you're being a little too tight, I highly recommend you do that. If you want to learn how to paint in a more direct manner, what it will do is, even if you like your current trajectory, it will enrich it. Okay, so by trying out different things that aren't necessarily your cup of tea, or aren't necessarily your natural inclination or natural tendency, you will grow the thing that you actually want to do. Okay, so this is why I highly recommend it. For me, for example, I'm starting to discover that what I really love to do is the fresh, immediate work. I love to just put it in as I see it, as much as I can on the first go. Now, it doesn't mean I won't do plant paintings. It doesn't mean I won't do large pieces that require more of a step-by-step approach, because that will also help me with my direct approach. Okay, so you see, it's always a mix of the two. But in any case, if you want to learn more about how to let go, be sure to check that out in the description box below. And if you struggle with the drawing and sketching part, be sure to check out my beginner's drawing course. I'll link everything down in the description box below. I want to thank you once again. It's good to be back. It's good to post new content. A lot of things have been cooking in me while I visited New York. A lot of new realizations about the type of art I want to do, the type of lifestyle and balance I want to achieve, and I hope I can share more of that with you. So thank you so much. I will see you again in another vid real soon.